When I decide to actually write a fic it's on 2025, well anyways, I don't own anything but the plot. Sakusa knew that drinking with Bokuto and Hinata was never a good idea. He should have known that it was a recipe for disaster waiting to happen, but somehow, last night, he gave in after they've persistently asked him to join them the whole week. One drink turned into two, two became five, and before he knew it, he passed out. Now his head was pounding like a drum. How much did he even drink last night? His mouth was dry, his thoughts sluggish, and there was a vague, unsettling sense that something embarrassing had happened. Groaning, Sakusa reached blindly for his phone on the nightstand. The screen glowed far too brightly that he had to squint to readjust his eyes to the lighting. 7:01 a.m., and right below that, a notification that made his stomach twist. 59 plus new messages. He blinked, then blinked again. He never has this much messages on his phone. What the hell happened last night? Hesitantly, he tapped on the screen where the group chat with Hinata and Bokuto popped out. The first thing he saw were several videos of him clearly wasted, and then countless of heart and kiss stickers in between the clips, spammed repeatedly with no context. Then he scrolls down to see the messages, and his heart drops to the ground. Group chat with Hinata and Bokuto. Omi-san, you've got it so bad for Atsumu. You can't tell us Atsumu is so annoying and then proceed to tell us that you want to kiss him? In one of the clips you were even saying I want Mia to be happy even if it's not with me, and then you started crying. Sakusa drops his phone, staring mindlessly at the floor. What the fuck? Then suddenly, the memories of last night hits him all at once. He remembers Bokuto refilling his cup whenever he emptied his drink, the way his tongue got looser with every sip. He remembers professing his undying love for Miya Atsumu, and how he cried at the thought of Atsumu ending up with someone else. Yet, if he felt hangover earlier, he's definitely sober now. Sakusa winces at his drunken actions, but he tells himself that it's fine. Even if Hinata and Bokuto now knew about how he felt for Atsumu, he could still salvage this. Today he'll walk up to the MSBY gym for practice and pretend like nothing happened last night. Yes, that was the plan. But no, the moment he steps into the gym, Bokuto and Hinata are wearing the biggest smiles on their faces. It's even bigger than the ones they have when they win a game. And mind you, they're volleyball idiots, for goodness sake. Wipe those stupid smiles off your faces before I shove an alcohol bottle down your throats. That's not very nice of you, Omi-san. After all our heartfelt talk last night, you can't treat us this way. Yet, don't be grumpy just because Tsum isn't here yet. Sakusa's jaw tightens as Inunaki Shion chimes in with a teasing grin. Come on now, Sakusa, Atsumu should arrive any minute now. That sentence alone made his stomach sink. Sakusa glanced around, and to his horror, everyone on the team was wearing the same playful smirks, giving him knowing looks like they were there last night. Oh my god. Does the whole team know? I mean, we may or may not have sent them the clips in the group chat. Sakusa, you told Bokuto and Hinata your secret and expected them to stay quiet? They're like part of the top 10 people that cannot keep secrets. Sakusa looked like he was genuinely considering walking straight out of the gym and never returning, but before he could spiral, Mian stepped in, offering what should have been reassurance. Don't worry, Sakusa, I've made sure that Hinata and Bokuto kept it a secret from Atsumu. He doesn't know about it. Doesn't know about what? The room turns silent and Sakusa's heart sinks down to his stomach. Bokuto immediately looked away, whistling off-key like he'd suddenly become deeply fascinated by the ceiling. Hinata, ever the accomplice, followed suit, gazing upward with the same fascination. Inunaki subtly pulled out his phone and began typing like he hasn't replied to his messages in days. And Mian, very slowly stepped backward like he wanted no part in what was about to go down. Atsumu set his bag down carefully, his eyes scanning the room as the silence stretched longer than comfortable. Thankfully, Sakusa's quick thinking finally kicked in. Mian is saying you still don't know about the practice game with EJP Ragins tomorrow. I do know about that, Omi. We were just talking about it the other day. Right, I was going to tell Mian that you already knew about it. Atsumu thankfully buys it and doesn't question it further. He just laughs, his usual bright, carefree energy cutting through the awkward air. Practice resumes like usual, at least it should be, except that everyone isn't acting normal. Mian acts the most normal except that he pairs him with Atsumu for every single drill. Whether it's stretching, serving, passing, or blocking, he's always with Atsumu while everyone else swaps out their partners. Meanwhile, Hinata and Bokuto can't stop snickering every time he speaks to Atsumu. Their laughter is so loud that Sakusa grits his teeth every time he hears it. Inunaki is the worst of them all, helping himself to drop unnecessary side comments that only add to Sakusa's exasperation. Adria and Oliver are thankfully quiet, but Sakusa can't help but notice their occasional glances directed at him and Atsumu. As for Atsumu, he acts like he has no idea why this is happening. Sakusa isn't sure if he's an idiot or genuinely oblivious, or maybe both. No, but seriously, are they doing this on purpose to torment him? Time passes so slowly that when practice does end, Sakusa feels so tired, even more tired than usual. He just wants to go home and erase everything today from his memory. Yes, that was what he was going to do. But of course, nothing ever goes as he planned. Because just as he heads out the door, Hinata, with his stupidly fast reflexes, blocks him, spreading his arms out as if that could stop Sakusa from pushing past him. Wait, Omi-san, you can't leave yet. We're having a team dinner tonight. Let's go drink and have fun again, Omi. Bokuto shouts, attempting to back Hinata up to convince Sakusa to go drink out again with them tonight. Sakusa can feel his patience thinning, his tone sounding harsher than usual. Step aside, Hinata. I'm going home. After everything that happened last night, Sakusa is never going to go drinking again, especially not with Bokuto and Hinata. Come on, Omi-san. This is the first team dinner of the month. Where's your team spirit? I don't have one. You can't say that. Team bondings are always fun. Please, you have to join us. Even if Bokuto gives him his best puppy dog eyes or throws a tantrum, Sakusa is confident he'll be able to hold his ground. He's dealt with so much today and has reached his limit of patience. No, he's about to make a break for it and make a clean escape when suddenly, Atsumu steps up beside him. Omi-kun, come join us, won't ya? Ya can leave early if ya want after. Atsumu gives him a look, his honey brown eyes shining with a quiet plea. It's the kind of look that Sakusa has never been able to resist, no matter how hard he tried. Damn these feelings. If any of you gets wasted, I'm leaving. So when we ask him it's a no, but when Tsum asks it's a yes. This is blatant favoritism, Omi-san. Hinata whines dramatically while Atsumu smiles triumphantly. Maybe Omi just likes me better. Inunaki smirks, leaning in with a teasing tone. Is this true, Sakusa? How could you? Sakusa ignores Inunaki, already regretting his decision to go out with the team. Let's get going before I change my mind. Period. It's a little late in the night, and everyone is looking a little tipsy. Sakusa, however, is just really tired and is by far the most sober. For most of the night, Atsumu isn't even at their table. He's being held up constantly by a fan that wants a picture, an autograph, or someone trying to hit on him. Why did he agree to come here again? Are you really not going to confess, Omi-san? Hinata is slurring his words, his face clearly flushed from the alcohol. No, why not? It's not going to amount to anything. The thing is, Sakusa is well aware of how he feels about Atsumu. He has been for a while now, and he's not going to do anything about it. I mean, why act on something that won't even be reciprocated in the first place? Besides, Sakusa is himself. He's not exactly the most ideal bachelor. He must have sounded sadder than he realized. Because his teammates are giving him sympathetic looks. You'll never know until you try, Sakusa. Maybe that's true, but unless there's a clear indication that Atsumu feels remotely the same, Sakusa isn't going to risk it. He's not. Atsumu-san is popular, you know. He might get swept away by someone else if you don't do anything about it. Hinata isn't looking at him, but instead looking behind his shoulder. Sakusa followed Hinata's line of sight and saw Atsumu being approached by a tall, well-dressed man that was clearly interested in him. Atsumu smiled politely, and for a moment, Sakusa feared Atsumu might leave with this stranger and today was the day he'd have his heart broken. But just as quickly, the man walked away, and Atsumu is finally left all alone. The thing about Atsumu is that, even though he has many admirers, without fail, he always turns them down. Sakusa doesn't let himself admit how much relief that brings him each time because it makes him think that there's still a chance for him. His teammates seem to catch on to a slight flicker of relief in Sakusa's face and they all exchange knowing glances at each other. You should take him home, Sakusa. He looks pretty drunk and is about to topple over. Uh-oh. He fell down. And, there's a cat? Atsumu-san is staring at the cat. What the? Is Tsum having an eye contest with it? Sakusa witnesses the whole thing, and sure enough Atsumu is indeed on the floor, having an intense eye contact with a fat tabby orange cat. Sakusa doesn't know why he finds the scene oddly endearing if not ridiculous. He would let himself smile if his teammates weren't watching, but he's not going to let them know any more of his feelings than they already have. Just as Sakusa stands up and walks closer, the cat picks up on the movement and darts off, vanishing into the shadows. It must have sensed him approaching Atsumu. Get up, Mia. I'll take you home before you do anything dumb or embarrassing. Atsumu blinks up at him, his eyes widening slightly, as if registering Sakusa's words sinking in. You're so mean, Omi-kun. I never do anything dumb or embarrassing. Then why are you on the floor having a staring contest with a cat? What? I can't have a staring contest with a cat? Ya must have scared it away with your prickly energy. Forget it. I'm just going to leave you here and go home. A beat of silence settles between them. Then Sakusa notices Atsumu's eyes beginning to well up with tears. He freezes. What the hell? Boo. Don't make some cry. Atsumu's the type to be emotional when he's drunk. Omi-san, you'd know that if you didn't skip team dinners all the time. His teammates chime in with their usual chaos from the other side, but Sakusa barely hears them, because Atsumu's looking up at him again, all wide, glossy eyes and flushed cheeks, and, God, is it weird that he finds Atsumu pretty like this? He swallows hard, gaze flickering away, annoyed at how warm his face suddenly feels. Are ya really gonna leave me here? I'm not. So get up, Mia. That comes out softer than Sakusa would like, but that should be the least of his worries. Atsumu sniffles and stands, though he sways unsteadily and leans against Sakusa with more weight than necessary. Sakusa steadies him with a sigh. Then, without a word, he crouches slightly and gestures behind him. Get on, you're gonna carry me? Hurry up before I change my mind. Atsumu compliantly climbs onto Sakusa's back, wrapping his arms loosely around his neck, and if Atsumu can somehow hear Sakusa's heart pounding, he's going to blame it on the alcohol. It's a quiet walk on the way home until Sakusa could feel something damp on his neck. I swear if that's snot, Maya, it's just my tears, Omi. But what would ya do if it was my snot? Well, Sakusa learns that Atsumu is insufferable even when he's drunk. I'd drop you right here in the middle of the street. Would ya really do that? Yes. No, I'd consider doing it though. Atsumu laughs, his breath warm against Sakusa's neck. Sakusa tries not to think about anything because he is too sober for this. Ya know, you're always so grumpy like ya gotta stick up your ass. You're prickly like a hedgehog or a sea urchin. Actually, which one would ya prefer? Did Sakusa already mention how insufferable Atsumu was when he's drunk? Is this what I get for taking care of you? Ya should be nicer to me. You literally insulted me a minute earlier. It's a compliment. Sakusa scoffs. How is being grumpy and having a stick up your ass a compliment, Mia? Cause I like that about ya. Sakusa's heart stills. I dunno. It's just part of who ya are. Omi, ya should be just Omi. Y'all look so funny right now, Omi. There's like two of ya. Two Omis, like Omi and Omi. Omi. Atsumu giggles, laughing at his own drunken wordplay like he didn't just send Sakusa's heart straight into overdrive. Sakusa tries not to think about how close they are, about how he can feel the vibrations of Atsumu's laughter against his back, or how Atsumu tightens his arms just a little more around his shoulders when he laughs. Insufferable, insufferably drunk, insufferably adorable. Sakusa is insufferably and hopelessly doomed. One night and all his resolve not to do anything about his feelings for Atsumu is going down the drain, because Atsumu is stirring his desire to hear his laugh again with their bodies pressed this close, the desire to act on his urges to hold him closer, to kiss and touch him whenever he pleases. The rest of what happened after that was a blur for Sakusa. Somewhere along the way, Atsumu had dozed off, and somehow Sakusa had made it to Atsumu's place to carefully tuck him into bed. He even managed to get back home on his own, though everything in between felt hazy and half forgotten. But now, he's decided. He unlocks his phone and notices a new group chat titled Operation SakuAtsu, which he doesn't bother questioning anymore. Group chat Operation SakuAtsu. Okay, I'll do it. I'll confess to Mia. To be continued.